What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. You'll see it in my mock draft, which should be up in the next couple hours. But I got the Buffalo Sabres taking Sam Reinhart from the Kootenay Ice with the number 2 overall pick in the draft. I know Buffalo lost the lottery, but I think they would have taken Reinhart either way with the number 1 pick. You know, it's not a knock on Aaron Ekblad by any means, but I think with this draft, it's different strokes for different folks. I think each team would have done something different with that top pick, and I think that's it's par for the course. I think looking at it from the Sabres' perspective, they got a lot of young talent. They got, Zadorov and Ristolainen, Gergensons. Mikhail Grigorenko isn't a bust yet. He's still only, 19 years old. Like, he'll be 20 over the summer. They got the pick this year. They got two next year, depending upon the Islanders situation. We'll talk about that as we get closer to the draft, with them possibly having the 5th overall pick as well. And I think there's reason to be optimistic in Buffalo, which I really can't say for the Islanders or Edmonton. The Panthers, I'm kind of on the fence about. You guys will see that later, but I think the ownership group's fine. The Pagula and his wife, really have a lot of money. They want to have a winning product on the ice, and that's commendable. I think the front office has a brain in their head. I like Murray as a GM, and I think keeping Ted Nolan was a good move. The trades they made have really helped them out in terms of the rebuilding process. The Vanek trade was a borderline highway robbery. They got some pretty good assets back from Matt Molson. They got a lot of really good assets back for Ryan Miller as well. And I think from the Sabres to have all those in the organization, you're not going to get better overnight, but you're a lot closer because they have direction organizationally. They know what they want. Whereas opposed to Edmonton, it's just lost. And I think that's hurt them more so than they think because there's an air of losing around the team, and that psychologically that's tough for the players to be in a positive and productive work environment if it's been negative for so long. Well, not that it's been all rainbows and butterflies in Buffalo, but at least since the lockout they've made the playoffs 3 or 4 times. Edmonton had that; they got lucky to make it once, and then they lo and behold made the Stanley Cup Finals. So for the last 7 years, it's been just misery in Edmonton. That's really 8 years. They lose Game 7 and then Pronger wants out of town. And that's tough. A lot of drafts didn't work out the way they wanted to. More so before they had all the top picks. I mean, getting Jordan Eberle, later in the draft was awesome for them. But Taylor Hall's been a good player. But the other guys, Nugent Hopkins is still undersized, which for center out west is tough. Neil Yakupov is there. I mean, he's not. There's a tough learning curve for him. It's unfortunate to see, but I think Buffalo's in better shape. I know Buffalo again. They lost the lottery, but they'll get Reiner. If they don't want Reiner, they'll take Bennett, and they'll be back contending sooner rather than later. I like where Buffalo's going. I can't say the same for a lot of the other teams picking in the lottery. But anyway, that's like on this episode of the Power Play with CJ. On the Buffalo Sabres getting the number 2 pick in the draft. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.